Whew. 20.5 mile update. Clearly I'm struggling. 4 hours 55 minutes in. I am cooking. Just not used to the heat. Alright, we're on our way to the airport in Huntsville, and the temperature right now is a chilly 46 degrees. Are you getting excited yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be so hot. Yeah. But it'll be good.
It's gonna be hot. Thank God for pre-check.
Voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente.
We took off from Huntsville, Alabama at about 9:30 a.m. And the entire trip, doorstep to doorstep, took us about 15 hours. Trip went via Atlanta and Mexico City. And once we arrived in Mexico City, we actually had a 5-hour layover. We also ended up going through immigration there because it was our first port of entry. And thankfully that 5-hour layover was a heck of a lot sweeter because we got an upgrade for the final leg to Puerto Vallarta, and so we enjoyed the lounge before we continued on the final leg. Time to go to check-in. During our trip, we stayed in Zona Romantica in Puerto Vallarta, so our hotel was a mere 5-minute walk away from the finish line and also from Hidalgo Square, which is where packet pickup would actually take place. Oh, there you are.
The only Polish name on the list.
Yeah. When we got to the actual packet pickup, it felt slightly disorganized. Took a bit longer than it should have, and there was just some little things that just didn't seem right, didn't work right. There was nothing major. One of the things also was that everyone seemed to show up at the same time, even distances that weren't supposed to pick up their packets until the next day. So that made for even more chaos. Now, the expo itself was rather small, which is okay. You know, it's a first year event, but the race merchandise that was available was either gone already when we got there 15 minutes after opening, or it was never available at all. And it was a bit disappointing considering that I don't think they had any shirts for the men's 100K runners. They had a ton of women's shirts for that distance, but no men's shirts, so I'm not sure how they actually calculated the need of shirts. I would have figured it's based on the registration numbers, but clearly that wasn't calculated correctly. Again, no big deal. I got myself a trucker hat and walked away happy. Again, a first year race of that size, I think there was about 2,000 or 2,500 runners across all distances. And actually issues are to be expected. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been considering. And overall it was a lot of fun to just walk around and check it all out and soak it all in before heading back to our hotel. Time to pack our stuff. Puerto Vallarta 100K Hikuri in 829. What race number do you have, baby?
103, I think.
1203, Nakawe for the 50K. So just like UTMB, this race also had mandatory gear requirements that you must carry throughout the race. And it included a race vest, 2 liters of hydration, a mobile phone, reusable cup, utensils, a bowl or plate, a headlamp with spare batteries, a rescue whistle, emergency blanket, 3 feet of bandage, waterproof jacket, long pants and a long shirt, hat or bandana, gaiters, and extra calories. The next morning, I had a 2 a.m. wake-up call to get my stuff ready and get dressed so I could make the 3:30 a.m. shuttle pickup near the start-finish line. Really? Not all clubs are closed yet. Clearly, the clubs weren't closed yet. When I arrived at the shuttle pickup location, there were at least 3 coaches lined up already to take runners inland to the actual race start at Mascota, and that was about a 2.5 hour drive away. And once we would get there, we'd have to wait about another 2 hours or so for the actual race start at 8 a.m. Mascota, and it is actually chilly here, so try to enjoy this cooler air for another couple hours before we start moving, I guess. Club de Leones Mascota. This must be an athletic club. Very cool.
Hidalgo también aquí, corredores de Hidalgo.
Have some fun in the sun.
Desde Mascota, Jalisco, a punto de iniciar con los 100 kilómetros de la primera edición de Puerto Vallarta, México, by UTMB. ¡Esto es la emoción, corredores!
Okay, looking good now down here at the start line as the sun rises over Mascota here in Jalisco. The energy turning up. The first ever edition Puerto Vallarta by UTMB.
Flashing it today?
Ready?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Listo. Ánimo. De operación, tendremos que posponer nuestro arranque 1 hora.
After an hour delay, we're going to make our way to the start line again. Technical difficulties was the explanation, so let's see if we actually start this time.
Agradecemos
How you guys doing?
de manera
Yes, ready to go. Let's rock this shit.
Muchas gracias.
In the middle of our runners, we're going to create a small space so that our shaman can come through here, and he's going to be placing orders. So we're going to create a space right the way through here. So thank you very much. And we're going to hand over to our shaman.
And then I got to experience the first as a runner, as we were all blessed at the start by a local shaman. In fact, the names for each race distance here are from the local language, and our race distance, 100K, the Hikuri, is the native word for the peyote cactus, which is a healing plant.
2 minutes until the start of the race, 93 kilometers, over 3,000 meters of positive elevation. The Pacific Ocean awaits you. The heat, the energy, the joy of Puerto Vallarta, the first edition, Puerto Vallarta Mexico by UTMB.
Ok, atentos corredores, vamos a seguir el chip color azul, ok? ¿Están listos? Are you ready? Ok, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nice cobblestone.
This is going to be fun at the end.
Oh God, yeah. As we were leaving the village of Mascota, I finally had a chance to let it all sink in and to think about what actually lay ahead of us. While 10,000 feet of vertical gain didn't really seem like too much vertical gain, I had absolutely no idea what I should expect from the course. And really all I knew is that it was a point-to-point course and that we would run about 94 kilometers. And like I said before, that the vertical elevation gain was about 10,000 feet. But the rest was completely unknown to me. I had no idea what the aid stations would be like. I was intending on relying on them for nutrition largely. I was carrying about 12 spring energy gels, but that was it. I was hoping they would have sufficient fluids with calories and food, some vegetarian or vegan options hopefully, and that was it. What would the surface be like? Was it rocky, muddy? The climbs and descents, would they be steep or shallow? Were they runnable? You know, how much running could we do? And then what would the temps be and the exposure? There were just so many unknowns in this, and real worry about the heat, to be quite honest, because the forecast had actually called for temperatures in the high 80s and a humidity level of over 80%. And that was something I was absolutely not used to. Even living in the southeast, the past 2 months had been fairly cool. But even in the middle of summer, I don't really search out or seek out races that take you to the really hot places. In fact, having crewed and paced at Badwater, I had sworn I'd never do that again. And just as I was finishing my thought, we started climbing. All right. 2 miles in. First little big climbs. Lots of conga line. It's gonna be a hot day. It's beautiful, but it's gonna be hot. Quite beautiful. I guess we'll make this the 5 mile check-in. I think it's just 4. Let's see here. Just over 4 miles. An hour in. Not bad. Alright, that's a pretty good climb right now. I think we're approaching the top of this little section. A little off-trail climb to get around property line. And through the trees you can sneak a peek. It's a mountain.
Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Beautiful.
this first descent was long and steep, and I sure was glad when we finally made it to the bottom of it to approach the first aid station.
We're approaching the first village. And the first aid station. Heading out of the aid station, almost 9 miles in. Gracias!
Gracias.
I was able to grab some ice. Been moving for 2 hours, 16 minutes. Now, time to do some more running, hopefully. All right, I had 10 miles in about 2.5 hours. That's a lot of this going on right now. Fifteen and a half miles in, 3.5 hours. We should be approaching the next aid station. So clearly I have the sun right behind me, but we're kind of in a tunnel now. It's kind of cool. Heat and altitude is definitely getting to me. I think we started at about 4,000 or 5,000 feet and climbed up to 6 or 7. And honestly, my heart rate's been like 150 all day, which is too high. I mean, that's Leadville heart rate right there. So I'm trying to dial it back without moving too slow. Rolling into the second village, approaching aid station number 2. Make sure I refuel, fill up my bottles, get some fruit, and keep moving. Nice cobblestone. Aid station 2 must be straight ahead. Drop.
Venga, venga.
Nice job, guys.
Thank you.
Good work.
Venga, venga. Bien hecho, bien hecho. Good job, good job.
Thank you, thank you. Bienvenidos.
Bien, por aquí hacia la izquierda y entonces el río y todo derecho, por la subida. Can I have your name, please? Sorry. Yes. Thank you. Sí, 829. A la izquierda. Cruzas el río y todo derecho por la subida.
Okay, oops, excuse me. Excuse me, I guess. Ooh. Big climb, big Pepsi? Gracias.
Por nada.
Sí.
Me enseña, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Por nada.
This early in the race, I had already changed over to just drinking Pepsi Cola as my main fuel source, in addition to the gels, unfortunately. Nothing really looked appealing to me at this point.
Good job. Thank you. Whew. And at the mountains, just left aid station 2. Big water crossing. Mexican Rocky Chucky. Alright, 16.5 miles, 3 hours, 48 minutes. Feeling refreshed, ready to tackle the next section. Right. 20.5 mile update. Clearly I'm struggling. 4 hours, 55 minutes in. I am cooking. Just not used to the heat. And it is hurting. I'm struggling to keep my heart rate low. Pop some salt and just keep grinding and hoping that as the day progresses that it cools off again and I can move a little bit better. But this last section from the second aid station is a slow grind all the way to the highest top, biggest climb. It ain't fun right now. And this is way too early. But it is what it is. I just got to deal, keep moving forward and hopefully get a second wind, kind of recover from this heat at some point, hopefully, but it's not going to let up much. High 80s, humidity above 80. It sucks right now. But it is beautiful. It is definitely beautiful. I'm just not moving. Refreshing. Oh. Gnarly climb. Hot.
Very.
It looks like we finished the climb. I'm not sure if there's an aid station here or just a night. Yeah, it looks like it. Aid station number 3. Jesus. 6 hours for 23 miles. Oh man, and my legs are toast. Cramping. stitches. I don't know what's going on, but I gotta reset. And another gnarly descent after all that climbing. We got this nice steep descent. The quads were already shot from the heat. I doubled up on the salt. We'll see if that helps. But right now, I'm just trying to keep it together. All right, 6 hours, 50 minutes in, and 25.5 miles, and the sun is just relentless. I gotta keep turning the camera because it just seems to be everywhere, and I'm feeling slightly better, but I just cannot run real well in the sun unless it's downhill, and right now it's just flat, meandering. I just gotta take what I can and not push it. Farmer. The last aid station was at the top of the biggest and longest climb, highest point on the course, I believe. We've got 3 or 4 more, but they're shorter spikes. So, alright, time to shuffle. little bit of bushwhacking involved here and there, and trying to find the trail again. So from what I'm told is the reason there's some crazy off-trail climbs in here is because private property owners, a lot of this race utilizes private property for the course, so it requires a lot of finagling on part of the race director and the team to actually make this happen. So look at that, it's just gorgeous. Of course, I really was hoping we were descending and not climbing, but we shall see. My legs are short. Oh, God. A whole lot of loose rocks on these descents, which makes it very slow for me right now with my ankles, unfortunately. But the heat is kind of crushing everyone, so I've been passing people even at my current pace, because everyone, including the locals, is just cooking. I mean, it is just so hot. Rocks and rocks and rocks. Okay, time to focus on running. Looks like I found an aid station. Oh man, this is tough. Alright, I'm at 29 and a half, 8 hours. Ouch. Hola.
Hola.
$29 and a half, 8:20. I sat down for a minute trying to regroup because it's been so hot. And then of course I start to get cold. Don't really feel like eating, so I've been eating crackers, washing them down with water and chugging 3 or 4 cups of Coke and some water. Filled up my 2 bottles with Gatorade because I didn't bring my own nutrition this time. Big mistake. And I'm out of gels. Went through my 6 spring energy gels already, so won't see them again until the drop bags, and there are 2 more aid stations. We've got a 6 kilometer, 4 mile stretch now, just under 4 miles. Big climb again, and then this next aid station, so let's see how that turns out. I don't even know what to say. This climb is horrendous. This is the top or not. There's always hope, but I'm just afraid to even say it out loud. A couple of false summits on this somewhat punchy climb, but god dang, it got steep. So, man, this course does not give you a chance to recover. It's amazing what you can do with 10,000 feet of vertical gain. That makes me happy. Right. Another aid station.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Pues mira, es que según el GPS descargado, falta 926 de subir en total. 926 entre todas las subidas. Sí, y esa es de 167 la que está ahí.
Alright, my watch is showing 36 miles, almost 11 hours. Oh boy. And one water crossing after another. Yep, that's how it's been going. Wet feet. I gotta get moving. Just standing there changing my headlamp, even though it's 80s. I'm getting cold down here, so I gotta get moving. Uma, where I have my drop bag. 11 hours, 20 minutes in. 38 miles or so.
Bien hecho.
Venga, muy bien.
8:29. Go.
Gracias. When I got to the UMA aid station at mile 38, I sat down to try to regroup and got my fuel out of my drop bag and tried to mentally reset, which worked to a certain degree, but my body was just shot. So in and out I went, on into the dark. A little check-in. We're 42-ish miles in. Almost 13 hours, unfortunately. Moving. 2 more big climbs left, and then we're rolling down to the finish, but that's still many hours away, unfortunately. We'll see. Alright, another aid station down. 13 hours, 45 minutes. 45 plus miles.
Venga, muy bien, vamos. Venga.
As I continued running through the night, I started hearing some music in the distance, and as I got closer it got louder and louder, and ultimately I was treated to a little roadside entertainment, live orchestra playing at a wedding party. I think at this point it was about 2 a.m. in the morning, so they definitely know how to party. Roadside entertainment just for me. And to finish 8K of this cobblestone, my feet are so beat up from the steep descents that it's like pins and needles right now, but gonna get it done. I think I got about 4 more miles. We're back in Puerto Vallarta, finally, and it's the final stretch to the finish. The hanging bridge, interesting. We're about to turn onto the Malecon boardwalk, and at the end of that is the finish line. We're just coming up on the bridge. I'm a mess. I am a mess. I don't think I didn't even manage to finish before the clubs shut down, which is like at 3. Oh well, let's run this in. As I was running the final mile or so to the finish, the entire Malecon boardwalk was lined with decorations and statues for the upcoming Dia de Muertos holiday the following Tuesday that unfortunately we missed because we left on Monday. But it was a pretty spectacular sight to see all along the boardwalk. And as a result of the holiday, people were all dressed up and celebrating a couple of days ahead of the big day. When it was all said and done, I finished the race in 18 hours, 32 minutes and 9 seconds. And I can honestly say it was a lot more challenging than I had expected. To my surprise, my wife decided to forego sleep and watch me finish at 3:30 in the morning, and I couldn't be more thankful for it. If you enjoy great scenery with a little bit of suffering, I suggest you sign up for next year and experience all of this for yourself. See you on the trails.